We're going to Alaska.
We're Chris and Sarah.
A husband and wife creative duo.
5 years ago, we met cycling across America. 3 years ago, we got married, and our current adventure is traveling and working full-time out of our DIY Sprinter van.
We're on a mission to live more meaningful lives by inviting other people along the way to join us in the adventure. We are Let's Be Us. So it's been a while, but we're finally making the trek.
Yes, I feel like we've hyped this up for a really long time, but we're actually getting on the road.
We're heading up to Squamish, and then we'll start making our way up to Alaska.
So Squamish is going to be the start of the trip for us because it's the farthest north we've ever been in North America. So
Ever.
So we're excited. So we're going to go from there, and we sort of have mapped our route. There's 3 ways you can get to Alaska, 3 main ways. There is via a ferry. You can go up that way. So on the coast, and it's supposed to be really pretty.
Yeah.
The hardest thing about that is we have a dog.
Grandma,
Where are you going?
you excited? You excited about Alaska?
So there'd be a lot of him just being
Yeah.
cooped up in the van except for bathroom breaks.
Now, am I wrong? Is it 17 hours? Is that what it was?
I thought it was longer than that.
It could be longer than 17 hours. Don't quote us. But he wouldn't be able to get out except for a bathroom break. So it's not ideal.
No. The second way you can get to Alaska is along a highway that goes sort of on like the western side of BC. This is supposed to be the more scenic and more remote route. We chose not to do this for just a few different reasons. I feel like it's not the traditional way to get to Alaska. It's not when
No.
people say you're driving to Alaska, they envision you going the Alaskan Highway, or the Alcan, which is the Alaskan Canada Highway.
Yeah.
So the second route along like western BC and all is supposed to be gorgeous, and we would love to do that route one day.
Mm-hmm.
That was our original plan, but the last minute we decided to change it just for, I guess, nostalgia's sake. We kind of wanted
Yeah.
to go see what everybody else has done for years, and we're early enough in the season that really it shouldn't be that crowded yet on the road.
Yeah. So we chose the third route, which is the Alaskan Highway. So we're driving up to Dawson Creek, and that is where the beginning of the Alaskan Highway starts. All right, expectations. What are we expecting on this trip to Alaska?
Bears.
Lots and lots of bears.
All sorts of wildlife. Because if you've ever talked to anybody who's been to Alaska, the number one thing that they talk about is the wildlife. And I guess the mountains, but mostly just the wildlife.
Well, I feel like everybody that we talk to, or you hear stories about Alaska, and it's almost like you're gonna have to wrestle a bear every time you leave the house.
Big bear, chase me!
I expect anyway, just this crazy amount of wildlife just roaming around.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody makes it sound like. I mean, I did a little bit of research ahead of time. I'm really proud of myself. I researched stuff, guys. But I did some research about like what to expect RVing in Alaska, because I don't really know. We do as much of like BLM and national forests as possible. Like, we don't like to book campsites unless we have to, but I don't want to be all the way in Alaska without somewhere to stay. So I did some research on RVing in Alaska, which was a huge mistake. Don't Google RVing in Alaska.
It was like WebMDing yourself.
Horrifying pictures of bears who have clawed their ways through RVs and stuff, which I hope that's not the case. That's what we're expecting, I guess.
So we're expecting just beautiful scenery, amazing wildlife.
People talk about Alaska also like it's the last frontier. I mean, I think they call it the last frontier.
Yeah.
So you expect it to be kind of remote, and that's sort of my hope. I mean, we've been to like Montana and Wyoming and the Dakotas where it's pretty rural.
Yeah.
So if that's not the last frontier, I'm expecting Alaska to be more remote than that, and I'm expecting it to be quiet. I'm ready to be out of the city with the noise too. There's like sprinklers and kids and traffic.
Yeah. We're ready for some alone time.
Silence.
I feel like we're not going to see people for hours and days on end, so
That's what they make it sound like.
yeah.
I did a little bit of research, like I mentioned, ahead of time, which like I said, I'm very proud of myself because that's not my jam. But where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so one of our friends who used to live in Alaska recommended that we get the milepost book. And this is like a mile by mile guide for all the main highways and stuff to Alaska, around Alaska, all this kind of thing. They republish it every year. So we have the 2019 most current.
Yeah. We don't typically buy like guidebooks or anything like that, but for this trip, I think it's necessary.
So the milepost book does list things like gas stations. Like it'll list like what the next town up in 200 miles has, whether it has, you know, food or medical care. Yeah, my fear is, you know, people talk like the Alaskan highway is so remote and that you're never gonna see a gas station. You need to carry extra gas canisters. And we talk to a lot of people and we have an extra jug if we feel like we need it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna need it.
I don't know. And like we actually talked to a lady who, she said she buys gas here in America because it's more expensive up there. And that's sort of another expectation, is I expect everything to be really, really expensive. So, I mean, we'll find out. So we just pulled over for gas and this is our situation. Sorry, no gas. Look at this. I have no idea what's happening.
Hopefully the mosquitoes aren't too bad yet. The mosquitoes are supposed to be horrendous. So
I'm not a big bug person at all, especially mosquitoes. And
who is a mosquito person?
I don't know. If you're a mosquito fan, sorry. You know, I just don't like them. So
I don't like anybody.
Yeah, so I don't. And I've heard horror stories of like these mosquitoes being so big and massive that, you know, they literally could, you know, make
Carry you away.
Yeah, carry you away.
Well, yeah, this is the next leg of like our Alaska journey, but this isn't Alaska. We actually left Alaska for good yesterday. I say for good, but I think we have plans.
So I don't know. We'll find out.
I am nervous about that.
Yeah.
But we have good screens on our windows.
We
so
do.
We should be okay.
We do. What are you most excited about? Like, what are you excited about Alaska about?
I'm excited for the vastness of it. Like how, you know, you see a picture of like America, the United States, like the lower 48 with Alaska in the middle, and just to show like the size comparison. Like everybody is always saying, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, but Alaska's how many times the size of Texas? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think I saw a picture of Alaska and like the United States, and it was covering a good portion of it.
Well, a lot of it, yeah. So Alaska's huge. So
Yes.
I'm really excited to see, I guess just more, not even see, but experience like just the magnitude of it. Like the mountains, like, you know, Mount Denali is the biggest peak in North America or the tallest peak. And I guess like everything just seems so much grander. I mean, they've got glaciers and huge, massive rivers. Even the wildlife's bigger there. Like,
Yeah.
So I think just experiencing the limited people in such an amazingly beautiful place. It's an oddly constructed sentence, but you get the idea. So we have
errands.
We have errands to do.
We've got chores.
Yeah. So what's our first one? You want to go through a list of things we have to do today?
Yeah. So
Okay.
today we've got to go to REI because we need to buy bear spray, because apparently that protects you from bears. We need to get some other things too.
Yeah, I think our bear spray's expired. So got to get some bear spray. Is there anything else on the list? We were going to look at maps. Oh, binoculars. Binoculars are like sort of like a big buy for us. We've really wanted some for a while and talk to the people there, see what they have in stock. But if we're gonna drive that many miles to Alaska, the last thing I want to do is see a bear off in the distance and be like a brown blob. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get some binoculars, I think. And then anything else we need? I think we're pretty much set. I mean, we don't want to buy more than we need.
Yeah. I mean, we love REI, and so every time we go in, it's
Kids in a candy shop.
yeah, it's very hard to say no. And so
We'll probably meander for a bit.
yeah. I love that thing.
We're not buying more than what we need. Can y'all see the hundreds of mosquitoes? See it or not? Oh my gosh.
Is that what we
Ready
need?
for summer.
Do we need this?
Probably. Oh my gosh.
We may need this. The bear keg.
So the second thing we have to do today is the toilet.
Yeah.
You know,
That's on you.
yeah, it is on me. Living in a van, we do have a full shower and we have a toilet, and
toilet has to be emptied about once a week.
Yeah, and so today's toilet day, so
Woohoo!
maybe we should bring them along.
You guys want to see how we empty the toilet?
All right, let's do this.
Okay,
Oh,
just gonna
sorry.
get the curtains from falling. You're good. How heavy is it?
It's really heavy. The tip is to lift from the legs and then grab the bottom of the toilet.
You're good.
Should I explain how this works?
I don't know, they can Google it.
So this is like a little RV tablet. You can get it at Walmart, whatever. And it goes inside so it doesn't smell. And it breaks down easier.
I gotta go grocery shopping. Not sure we'll take you guys along for that because you guys grocery shop too, I'm sure. Get some things before we head up north. We also need to kind of just clean out the van a little bit. It's not too bad. We're not really dropping anything off, but just to reorganize before we set out because I don't like traveling in a messy home.
Yeah, it's nice to travel and have everything put in its place. So we're excited. I'm excited anyway.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm nervous though because I feel like everybody talks about like the people hear you're driving to Alaska. I'm like, oh, you're driving to Alaska. That's so exciting. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really that exciting or if it's just like.
Well, I mean, have you driven to Alaska? Like, or if you know somebody that has driven to Alaska, leave a comment down below because we want to hear your stories and, you know, kind of hear your experience about driving there because we don't know if a lot of people actually do this. Every time we tell somebody that we're going to drive to Alaska, they act shocked and like, oh wow, that's a long way.
I don't know, but I feel like my friends who have been have all been by cruise ship.
Yeah. So we're driving there and we're taking you along. This is our Alaska series. How do you want to say that?
Episode 1.
Episode 1 of our Alaska series.
Ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Let's go. I should be more excited than that.
Yeah, well, you know. I mean, they need to see this.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Kramer!
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're taking the dog to Alaska. Got anything to say?
Got anything to say?
He said, just feed me more.
Chew with your mouth closed.
This is rude.
How gross.
We are on our way to Alaska, day 1. No, they're not scared. They just stare at the van, and so we're stuck.
Poor thing.